Well, that was fucking unexpected. Welcome back to Let's Play Shin Megami Tensei. We are in Kongonkai, or as the iOS version calls it, and as I am going to call it, the Diamond Realm. Rolls off the tongue a lot better for me. Anyways, this is the next area of the game, and probably one of the hardest areas. In my opinion, the second hardest area, other than the final dungeon. So, basically, after we were teleported, we lost everyone in our party, so we are alone. And that's not good, because there's a lot of enemies in this dungeon that can freeze or shock you, and if you run into a mob and they paralyze you, you're just done. It's a game over, pretty much. So we're gonna go grab a demon from that little cave. Thankfully, all of your previous demons are scattered about the dungeon, and if you have a free space in your party, will join back with you. It's just a matter of finding them, so do your best to just get a party of, like, even if they're, if you have to recruit a demon in the dungeon that you don't necessarily want, just get a party back up so you're not alone and you're not as easy a target. Found Takashi, not too far away from where we started. This, thankfully, this dungeon is fairly small, and it's only one floor. So, yeah, first things first, we're, finding, Takashi and Yuji, see where they're at, and, picked up a few demons along the way. I think I, mostly for the beginning part of this video, got all of my old demons back, or at least a decent amount of my old demons back. But I did recruit one or two from this dungeon, if I recall. I don't quite remember. But, yeah, this dungeon's hard. Just be careful. I wouldn't auto-battle too often if you can help it. At least, unless, like, there's just a single target or you know that they're a fairly weak demon. So, yeah, I'm gonna take out Apsaris there. A lot of, like I said before, a lot of just magical demons in here that can just be a pain in the ass if they get their spells off. So yeah, just be careful. I usually game over here. Actually, I said magical demons, but Tanki here is one of the exceptions. He's pretty physical based. But yeah, just I usually game over around here a few times whenever I play through this game. I don't recall. I still haven't game overed recording footage for this LP yet, but I was kind of surprised that I didn't here, because usually just one round of bad luck and you're just done. So thankfully, yeah, I went through this area without too many problems, but this is probably the first area in the game you'll really actually struggle with if you haven't already yet. So yep. Just, do your thing. Kinari here is a really annoying demon to fight, because they have a tendency to just freeze a bunch of your demons, as you can see. Not fun. Kinari does drop a pearl, which, the gems we've been collecting throughout the game so far do have a use that we will find relatively soon. In the next area, we'll figure out what those gems are finally used for. But one thing I do want to point out, though, is pearls are, I think, the only time that an enemy will drop pearls until the end of the game are these Kinaris. So if you want to get a few of those, you really don't have to. You should be fine. If you don't really need to worry about the gems that much. Honestly, they're nice to have around, but you shouldn't grind or freak out over them. But if you do want to pick one up or whatever, just know that you can really only do it here. So, I just know that because I was just curious and looking up the gem drop rates and whatnot, and noticed that very strict timing for getting pearls. You can find various gems and treasure chests and whatnot. And our good friend Nue, or Nue, however you want to pronounce it, from our Goto boss fight, is now just a regular demon in this dungeon. I don't think you can really negotiate with them because they're not, they speak like animals or whatever when you try to negotiate with them. I haven't really cared enough in any of my playthroughs, I think, to try getting one. So maybe you can, maybe you can't. I think Wilder Demons as a whole, you usually can't recruit. I could be wrong about that, though, so... no idea. Yeah, I realized here I forgot to equip Takashi with the MP5. Alright, just gonna keep going. As you can see, this is mostly... This dungeon is basically a giant big square, and we're on the inside part of that square. Nothing in there. Thought there'd be a demon, but guess not. And we found Yuji. There we go. Now that we have all three of our human people back in one party, this dungeon's a lot less scary, but still don't take it lightly. It seemed like Yuji and Takashi both did not accomplish their goals because the nuclear strike happened too early. So this demon might look a little familiar. It's just a palette swap of the Boggle demon from a dungeon ago or so. And as you can see, they can freeze your demons too. So. Quite the pain in the ass. Nerve bullets help out a lot. That's mostly the reason I wanted them for this dungeon. They don't always guarantee a successful sleep hit, especially on demons. I seem to find that demons that are more magical in nature, or have like more magic attacks, or like a higher magic stat, I guess, tend to resist status effects more, but I don't know if that's just my imagination or what, but it makes sense. That's how I think a lot of RPGs do it, so yeah, nerve bullets still useful, not as useful for this dungeon, unfortunately, but as you can see, like, just right there against that thing, it put him to sleep, and I just butchered it, so yeah, let's go back to this guy and see what he wants now. Welp. Good job, America. This Let's Play is actually a viral marketing campaign for Fallout 4. I'm sorry. Good guy Yuji being himself again. So, you know, he kind of offers us to just stay here and not do anything, but, I wouldn't want to stay here. There's a bunch of demons that would constantly try to freeze and shock me, and, like, there are demons and dumb bullshit here, too, so, like, why stay here? Old man makes no sense. Also, where would we stay? This dungeon is actually pretty tiny, and I don't know where we'd get food or water from, and I think I'd get kind of bored of the plain-looking, wavy blue walls and floors, and it's just not great. Where would you poop? There is a fusion manor in here that you can go and check out if you want to fuse some stuff off. I didn't use it here this playthrough. I usually do just because Well, you have a mix of new demons in this area that you can recruit, and you, of course, have your old party of demons. Usually I end up getting a little bit of both, and then just fusing stuff off either to save space or make a demon I really want. I think this part of the game, this area kind of marks where you're probably at a high enough level at this point that you can start to have more options when it comes to what you can fuse and what you can put into your party, and just overall, I think there's more demons at this point than at the early game. There's only so many you can fuse that are actually good, so that's always fun. Customization is I think a big part of my enjoyment of RPGs, and that's always, I guess, a reason I loved SMT. Is the party combinations and whatnot are endless, and every time I replay this game, for example, I have a different party, so... Might notice, too, that Takashi and Yuji are a little behind in levels, which is unfortunate, but they're still strong enough to carry their own weight. So, this area where he charged us to go and get some Soma from a spring, there are 4 corners of this area, and also flashbacks of the past. But there are 4 corners of this area, and this area kind of works as an alignment tutorial, and explain that the demons you summon, the demons you kill, etc., will have an impact on your alignment, and also the choices you make and whatnot, so... Gonna show off some of that. Got some Soma. And we're gonna try recruiting one of these things. I always love the demons in these games that talk like they're super old. Always makes me laugh. Old people are fun. Like, I'm kind of sad because both of my grandpas died before I was born, but, like, all of the stories I heard, like, I hear about them when they were old and, like, you know, just, like, didn't give a fuck anymore because they were old are so hilarious. Anyways, I could technically go back now, but I just wanted to show off the, well, this hallway for one. There's Pyrojack. But I wanted to just show off the rest of the alignment tutorial conversations in the 4 corners. Aw, poor Yuka. Never did get saved, and have a feeling she didn't get teleported out by other Yuka, but never know. Also, that room is like, come on, what the fuck, Atlas? Why would you just put like 10 meg on the floor? It's dumb. Whatever. Who knows? Maybe we'll see neighbor Yuka again. As you can see, filling out the map here. And then just finally going into this last room here. Alright, we're just gonna run all the way back and give this guy the Soma then. Alright, so he has you run back and go to that spring to get another Soma, but I just decided to cut it out because there's no point in showing that again. It's not... It's a long walk, but whatever. It'll give you some experience points and maybe a chance to recruit a demon or two. So not only are there 2 phantasms that live here, but also, like, this place is just full of difficult enemies, and I still don't understand his offer for us to stay. It's not great. Not very convincing. Bastard probably charges a lot for rent, too. Got Boggle again. Alrighty then. We are getting pretty close to the first boss of this area. And since unfortunately Yuji and Takashi are not allowed to join you for the Phantasm fights, they are actually pretty damn hard. I'm kind of surprised I didn't game over at either of them. I've really been saying how hard this area is, I know, but this area is no joke. It's rough when this game takes away your party members. Thankfully, this is really the only area that does that to this degree. And I decided to go for kind of a risky strategy here that you can kind of see me thinking about what my party makeup should be for this fight. And I decided I kind of wanted to use a demon, or a few demons that just had abilities for buffing. So I decided that I was going to summon an Earthies for this fight, who is pretty terrible at this point in the game, but fuck it, he had Terrakaja. So yeah, one shot from this thing is just straight up gonna kill Earthies here, but I managed to make it work, thankfully. Also, I find it very interesting that this thing's race is human, so who knows? Maybe it's actually just a guy in a Halloween costume who also lives here. But yeah, be careful here. I keep using buffs just because really helpful for this fight. The Phantasms have a lot of HP, like a lot, and they hit pretty damn hard, so... Like you can see, Kazuya took quite the hit. So... Just do your best. Use your best demons. Well... use whatever party you think will work, I guess. But you can do it if you try. Thankfully, Earthies doesn't take too much damage from a Miragi. Probably just because high magical stat or so. Or high magic defense, rather. So, that's good. If Earthies takes any hit from, like, just a straight up physical attack or a Aguilau or whatever, though, he's done, so... And also, you might notice I'm not putting the Phantasm to sleep very often with my gun, which is unfortunate. Marin Karen does not seem to be very effective on the Phantasms either, so that's kind of a pain. Earthy's down to 3 out of 40 HP, actually. Apparently Earthy's is a bit more tanky than I thought he was. I assumed he would just die right away. He's making it work, though. Hopefully this fight doesn't go on for too much longer. It's, I played this one pretty defensively, like you can see me, I'm healing a lot. And there we go. And I leveled up, which is really nice, just because that means I can, get a free heal from that. So, got the guillotine axe from that phantasm. Now, what's interesting about the guillotine axe is it is actually a weapon that can only be equipped by chaos-aligned humans. So, unfortunately, we cannot use it, but we maybe can give it to someone else. You know, the little flashback NPC areas in here are kind of weird. Reminds me of a great quote that someone once said.
But you see the echo of where it all is going to go. Again, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme, every stanza kind of rhymes with the last one. Hopefully it'll work.
Anyways, so this is the second part of the map. It's really weird how this area works, where you start out in the central part, and then you get your you get Yuji and Takashi back, and then you go to the outer limits of it, so you can get the Soma and kind of talk to the Phantom of Enno Ozuno, and he like tells you all of the alignment stuff, and then you kind of go into like the infill of that to fight the phantasms. So they're both on opposite ends of the dungeon from one another. For some reason, there are Azumis in this dungeon who they're pretty low level for this point in the game. I'm not entirely sure why they're here, but I'm not complaining. Just healing up here before I tackle the next phantasm. Interestingly enough, Chaos is usually associated with red, and Law is usually associated with blue, but the Phantasm's colors are switched for their alignments. Don't particularly know why that is. And we got Fornius back, so... Well, actually, we did not get Fornius back. I was not paying attention. Yeah, if your party is full, they won't recognize you, so I just decided to get rid of Pyrojack, because I checked out the Fusion Cathedral, and just straight up cannot fuse Pyrojack into anything worth note with any other demon in my party. So, just decided to dismiss Pyrojack and get Fornius instead, which was a good decision on my part. Gonna have Fornius help us out for this next fight, because he has Mazio. And even though the Phantasms do not get hit often by status ailments, you can still shock or freeze them fairly regularly, it seems. So that's nice, at least. So you're not completely fucked fighting them, is what I'm trying to say. Alright. It's a very similar fight. I think the only real difference is I think instead of some fire spells, this one just has some healing spells instead. So that's interesting. Not gonna get too much of a chance to use him though, because we're just gonna keep shocking him. If you decided to go for the Law or Chaos alignment at this point in the game, I recommend that you kill the Phantasm that will drop whatever alignment weapon that would line up with your alignment, so you can use it for the next Phantasm fight. Because they're pretty decent weapons, actually, so if you are Law or Chaos, you will get some advantage out of using them. If you're neutral, though, you're fucked, so... Sad but true. These Phantasm fights feel really drawn out. And, oh, geez, Fornius died. Yeah, gotta play these cautiously. I don't think this game is particularly hard compared to even some of the other SMTs that came out at the time, but yeah, there are definitely areas in this game that can cause trouble, so... We're gonna reach a point where we're not gonna have to worry too much about the difficulty anymore, though. Just gotta know how to break the game in the right ways. I say as more of my demons die. Phantasm seems to have a lot of agility because it keeps dodging Kazuya's bullets, which is interesting. Mizanma can be kind of a pain in the ass to deal with too, but we did it. Did not get a level up this time though, which is sad, but I can live without it. So Kodachi of Light, similarly to the Guillotine Axe alignment weapon again, and sure enough we cannot equip it, so that sucks, but what can you do? And that's our reward for being neutral, is after we kill both the Phantasms, we actually get a pretty decent sword. I think it hits up to 3 times. I could be wrong about that. But it does have a decent attack rating, as you can see. So that's neat. So if you go neutral, you just get your reward later than Chaos and Law do. So we're gonna equip Yuji with the Kodachi of Light, and we're gonna equip Takashi with the Guillotine Axe, which kind of hints at their alignments, and that might lead to some conflict later, but let's not worry about it now. All 3 of us are best friends, so I'm sure that none of us will ever decide to be an asshole towards another. Like, we're all the tightest of homeboys. Anyways, so you may have noticed a door that I was passing through, or I tried passing through but could not, on the outer edge of the dungeon, and that is your exit. You have to fight these 2 people before you can leave, though. This fight is not as difficult as the Phantasm, simply because, well, for one, you have your party members back, and second, I think these guys, see, like right there, I just charmed Zanki, and that is making the fight a lot easier, so... I recommend you go for the guy on the right, Goki, just because, if I recall, he can heal, and also he buffs the enemy team and whatnot, and that's never fun. And then I'm basically gonna keep Zanki either charmed or asleep for as long as I can. I managed to charm Goki there, which is always fun. No, but oh, I've been saying Zanki. I meant to say Zenki. I was not paying close enough attention. There's a glare on the screen. Anyways, no, but Zenki rather can hit pretty hard though. So if you let him get some attacks off, he can actually make this fight a little bit more complicated. But if you keep him out of the fight, you're fine. This fight is pretty easy compared to the other stuff you've gone through in this dungeon. So, like, look at that. That's some pretty damn good damage. So, yeah, keep healing, keep charming, keep doing your thing. Fight's almost over. I can feel it. There we go, another charm. One more turn ought to do it. I probably could have just autoed this battle out at this point, but I wanted to be cautious, so... Shouldn't take too much longer. Guy has a lot of HP, I guess. But yeah, Zanma is pretty damn good still for Yuji if you've been, as you can see, if you've been leveling up his magic as much as I have, which, to be honest, is pretty damn ridiculous. I've been min-maxing Yuji's stats pretty hard, but that's how I play this game. So, yeah, as you can see, he gained multiple levels there just because, they've been pretty behind in experience, so... They'll catch up at some point eventually, but... Well then... Oh, Jesus Christ, that doesn't look good at all.